Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy, Rumboyz Robbie. That's my co-host, TDS Taco. We are down a pirate tonight. Mike is at a family event, but it's all good. We are going to hold you guys down for a Friday night. Big shout to Shop GLD. Get like me. Get your GLD at shopgld.com. Pick up your favorite logo, your favorite team, whether it's NFL, MLB, NHL, NCAA, and much, much more. Other than that, links down below in the description for everything that we got offering, ways that you can donate to the show, all that good stuff. Yo, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the raw boys and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly, mix drinks on deck.
Ooh. It's my first drink in like 2 weeks. Feels kind of good.
You didn't drink last Friday?
I wasn't here last Friday, I don't think.
Oh shit, that's right. Makes sense. That makes now what you said just made sense.
Yeah, because on the other stream I had tea.
Taco. What's good? What's up? What's up, you twats? What's up, Leafs? What's up, Raphael? Hey, Robbie, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm still a big fan. Went through a lot of sad moments, tragedies, but I'm back catching back up myself. I'm now back. Hey, glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome. You already know that we got a lot to talk about. Really quick, before we get into the football talk, I just want to shout out my big dog, Bryson DeChambeau, this morning on the opening tee with just such a nasty freaking opening drive right down the fairway. It was sexy. Oh my gosh. Oh, just piped it.
You know what wasn't sexy? The traffic I had to sit in from the fucking PGA and Bethpage because it's out here in Long Island. So I literally passed that exit on the way to work.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Bad, bro. Bad. Fuck them dudes.
Dude, hey man, but Ryder Cup is lit right now. Team Europe is probably going to wax us. We'll see. Justin Rose, Tommy Fleetwood, like bro. We got Keegan out there also. I don't know how I necessarily feel about that as a pick, but you know, JJ Spawn with the nasty backspin this morning too. Like, Let's go ahead. Let's get right into it. Yep. Romer, yep. Before you start the fantasy, who needs to win this game more, Chiefs or Ravens, and why? We did cover that on our Tuesday night show, and we are going to kind of get a little bit more into that. That's going to be later. Don't worry. I got you. It's all here. Let's go ahead and let's kick things off. Thursday night football recap. Last night's action, it eventually came around. Last night, we almost thought that it was about to be a typical Thursday night football barn burner until about, I'll say, like late third quarter to fourth quarter for damn sure is when the game like really turned on. For pretty much 3 quarters of football, we had no points from JSN. We were getting a little bit here and there from Benson. a little bit here and there from K9. They were mainly the yardage guys, but then goal line work was they both got vultured by both the backups to the backups. So Sharps got vultured by, or I'm sorry, K9 got vultured by Sharps. Benson got vultured by DiMarcardo at the end to allow Arizona to win. Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't get things together until the fourth quarter, where seamlessly it seems like, based on the stat line, that Marvin Harrison Jr. sold his soul, going 6 for 6 and a touchdown, 6 for 66 and a touchdown. I'm sorry. I also want to get the outlook on the NFC West after last night, being that this was a divisional game. We do have more football this Sunday. Taco, take us away.
I think I want to go first to the waiver wire stud of the waiver wire du jour of the week, Trey Benson. So he didn't have the most efficient day, but I think going into that final drive, everyone felt like, okay, he's getting a good amount of the volume. He's involved in the passing game. He's getting rushes. Let's give this some time. This looks like it's going to be a good situation. And then that last drive happened, that 2-minute drill. And in that 2-minute drill, he did not see the field. It was the third down back to Marco, and he was getting the rushes. He was getting the pass catches. He scored a touchdown. Like, that drive is the garbage time or the end of game drive that you wait all game for. From JSN, you saw him. He put up his points in that final 2 minutes. I was battling him in 2 leagues. I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. All of a sudden, my man's like, I'm alive. Don't worry. So it to me is, I don't want to say alarming, but my antennas are raised a little bit, and I have to lower Trey Benson a little bit. Seeing the way that DiMarcardo was used in that fourth quarter to get that final drive, because that could be a trend line of maybe some more third down where 2 minutes going to him, which is where in fantasy you make good points at running back.
So, part of my interruption. For me, I feel opposite with Benson, just because if Arizona is playing ahead in that game, it's Benson on that final drive. So that's where I'm like, and then really DiMarcardo's only work was that final drive. There was no other
10 points
eating into the workload, realistically. 8 carries, 35 yards, 1 rushing, first down, 5 for 5 on receptions, 19 yards on a short week. I'm going to be honest. I am still impressed, even though if this was a Sunday game, and we were talking about this in the chat last night, so chat kind of already knows how I feel. If this was a Sunday game, I don't think that we deal with the game script that we dealt with from Arizona nor Seattle, because I think that your stars are more so primed up and ready to play, and ready to go and able to be game scripted, into the offensive play calling. Be able to find more ways to be able to get those guys open and get those guys options and get those guys looks. I still like Trey Benson. I'm still holding Trey Benson. I hate to say that I am agreeing, but I am agreeing with some of the hive minds out there after last night's reaction of it's a short week football. What the fuck did you expect was going to happen? So that's the way I'm kind of divvying it up with just the overall running back landscape of everything that happened last night with both teams. I am baking that into JSN as well, and just everything that happened with those receivers. Arizona clearly has a decent secondary, a secondary that could do enough to keep opposing teams below 27 fucking points. And their offense is sufficient enough to do enough to put them in positions to be able to go tit for tat with teams. Arizona's still the cardiac cards. I still see this team possibly sitting somewhere around 500 when it's all said and done. I don't think that last night is a true representation of either team. Just because I don't think that we saw either team at their best, nor that we know for damn sure we didn't see Arizona defensively at their most healthiest and at their best. So there's also that I bake into that situation as well. I want to see what's going to happen when these two teams face off later in the season. Of course, health is going to be an issue then because it's a lot of games of football are going to be played by then. But I do want to see kind of, more interesting when both lineups have a full week of rest. As for Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. side of the equation, a whole lot of what the fuck was that? What the fuck has that been? And I feel like me personally, while every other football mind out there is like, if they look great the fourth quarter, hey, everything the football world did the same thing 2 weeks ago with 3 weeks ago, I'm sorry, with JJ McCarthy and a fourth quarter win. I'm not sold on the connection between the two. There have been multiple. Last year, I could kind of make a little bit of a pass, but it happened last year a lot, and it's still carrying over into this year. Multiple times where either Marvin Harrison Jr. is running the wrong route, or either Kyler Murray's throwing the ball in the wrong area and Marvin Harrison Jr. is running the correct route. As someone that's played football, it's usually the first one. 9 times out of 10, it's usually the receiver running the wrong route. I am still on the bandwagon of get Marvin Harrison Jr. off of your fantasy football teams. I still don't believe that just because one quarter together that went great and looked like a Cinderella story between these two automatically erases everything that happened in the first 3 quarters. Marvin Harrison Jr. did turn the ball over. It ends up falling on Kyler Murray's stat sheet. That shit was him. It should be, in my opinion, that should count as a fumble against a receiver, but we can argue how stats for interceptions that are caused by a receiver that it may not be a full possession. We can argue that for a later fucking date. I don't think that a good fourth quarter magically clears up everything between those two. I don't think that fourth quarter is indicative of all of a sudden that these two are able to go out there for the remainder of the season and have their shit together. People last night were bringing up the fact that, man, maybe Kyler should have taken the opportunity with the MLB. That was a real conversation. I was prepared to have that on the show sheet. That was brought up on Pro Football Talk today. That was brought up on Pat McAfee today. That was brought up on the Rich Eisen show. Arizona, you still have problems. It's a false 3-1 to me. We're going to play contender or pretender later, undefeated team edition. I'm just going to say now, if it was a 3-1 edition, I'm having Arizona as a pretender right now. Until a connection can be established between quarterback 1 and wide receiver 1. The wide receiver room is a liability for Arizona. It's the weakness, and that's why Arizona won't make it far. So, get Marvin Harrison Jr. off your fantasy teams. You can still roster Benson because he's the only fucking bell cow that's back there. He'll have better weeks, especially when he's playing on Sundays and not on a fucking Thursday night. Jeff Bezos, you communist. That's how I feel about last night. Oh, and then for the JSN shit for everyone, and I was seeing posts of people being like, I need to now get rid of JSN. No, you don't. Stop overreacting. No, you don't. You had JSN in a divisional matchup. You knew it was going to be a low-scoring game. The same people that were like, I need to get rid of JSN were the same people that knew it was going to be a low-scoring game and took unders on the point total. Or adjusted the point total and still took an under. So you knew what the outcome was. It's quick maths. Any other thoughts about last night's 3-quarter bullshit that was a 4th quarter spectacular?
I'm gonna say Seattle defense looks like the real deal. I like them everywhere that I can get them. And Kenneth Walker coming out of that game because of the penalty really kind of pissed me off because the guy grabbed at his leg, and next thing you know, he doesn't come back in the drive. Chardonnay gets a touchdown. I do think he looked better than Chardonnay, but it's just going to be one of those sticky situations where you're probably not going to find too many running backs that will be better than Walker by the end of the year, but that's going to be a little bit of a sticky situation.
Cavaliers' best team in VA, by the way. I know what they are doing right now against FSU is diabolical. Like, it was, I haven't checked the score in a hot minute, but it was like 21-21. Yo, what's good, Aiden? What's good? What's good? Feel like vigilante tonight. Both those coaches are wrong, bro. One thing I do want to bring up to your point, Taco, about that Seattle backfield. They are both very different runners. Charbonnet is very much the one direction back. This is the direction I want you to go. This is where the play is dictated. You go there. Kenneth Walker tries to find and make his own space, which is why I think Seattle, knowing this, ran the backfield the way that they did against the opponent that they had to go against. As fantasy football analysts, we always say it is matchup dependent. This is matchup dependent week in, week out. You may not always be starting, fucking a George Pickens or whatever, if it's the matchup may not fit, for that. Like we these are discussions that we have. For the matchup last night, Charbonnet was being the goal line back. I could see the justification behind it from the NFL standpoint, from the coaching standpoint. Does it suck for fantasy football? Yes. Do I think that that's going to keep happening? No. I think that you are going to deal with there are going to be K9 weeks. There are going to be Charbonnet weeks. We knew that Charbonnet was going to still be there this whole time. What did we say heading into the season? Charbonnet may be a guy that, that may be the one that you're actually trying to get out of that backfield, because we know that K9 deals with his injuries here and there. We know that K9 is playing in a contract year, so that's really what the upside is for him to be going off. We know how effective he can be when he's healthy, but we also know there's that issue.
Yeah, and if we look at Chardonnay last night, he had 12 for 39, 2 catches for 5 yards. But that TD really saved him because that gave him 12 points in, standard 1-point PPR leagues. Whereas with Kenneth Walker, he did bust off a couple of the bigger runs. He also had 12 points, but he had 19 carries for 81 yards and 1 reception for 29 yards. So he does consistently look like the more explosive back, but kind of what Robbie's saying, I think in short yard situations and goal line situations, that one cut decisive, I'm just going to go where the play is dictated, makes a little bit more sense. Whereas when you have more open space and more ability to kind of break a long one, that's kind of where, Walker kind of specializes, because with him, it feels like you're either getting a 2-yard or a 20-yard run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Other than that, like I said, don't panic on the backfield situation. Shout out to Kyler for garbage time points. Sam Darnold is definitely a guy that I have in fantasy. He just gets the ball to anyone and everyone, and if that's your quarterback in fantasy, that's a good situation to have. Still saying MHJ is tradable, and don't panic on the whole JSN situation. Like, it's okay. It was just every player in fantasy is allowed a game.
I will say one thing about Marvin. When he caught that touchdown, like you could feel like kind of like a weight off him. And low key, I don't know if part of me wants to buy.
I
Part of me
don't know
low
if
key
it
wants
was
to
I
buy.
don't know, honestly. I don't know if it was a weight lifted on him. If you pay attention to the interception, fumble, turnover that he committed, the way that he came up holding his stomach, like holding his core, it looked like that he was in pain. And if you notice, they kept going back to him and kept showing his face, and he kept looking like he was in pain, like he was trying to like not show that he was in pain. So I'm thinking that after that, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if something pops up throughout the week where it's like maybe an abdominal, or or he was like, yeah, I was trying to get my win back the whole time, or whatever the case may be. So, bro, I'm gonna have to jump over and check on the score of that shit, yo. 28-27 against Florida State, yo. If Virginia commits an upset against ranked 6 FSU on a freaking Friday night, that's gonna be wild. Seminoles in Florida are gonna riot. Yeah, super surprised that Virginia is even hanging around in this game. That's wild. Let's go ahead. We will dive right into our next topic. It is officially official heading into Sunday's matchup. Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels are out Sunday with let's just call it what it is. This is load management is what it is. Both are saying that they are fine and that they can play and that they would be, ready to play. It is the team that is electing to hold them back for an extra week. Well, Jaden an extra week, Terry this week. I think an important question needs to be raised. Should fantasy managers consider starting Mariota, considering how bad Atlanta looked last week and how decent he looked last week against the Raiders? And then also, who are you sliding in with Terry and IR this week? I know exactly who my answer is, and my answer is going to shock the fucking world. I have two options for you guys.
All right, so first things first, Marcus Mariota. I understand what you're saying about Marcus Mariota having a good game last week. He had 207 pass yards, a touchdown, 6 rushing attempts for 40 yards, and a rushing touchdown, and a fumble lost. He does have a solid rushing upside to him. I just don't know how much I trust it after the Falcons had a really bad loss. And I do expect them to play better. Like I think that was as bad of a game as it gets for the Falcons, and a large part of that bad game was the quarterback play, putting them in bad positions. They did. I know they had at least one defensive touchdown. So
There's better. There's better, Aiden. There's better.
I honestly don't think that I would be taking Marcus Mariota. I do think that you probably have a better player that will be available on your waiver. Now, if we're talking about someone to replace, I'm trying to think here. I don't know what kind of ownership we're gonna do. Probably below 30.
Do you want me? Do you want me to go and then
Yeah. Give me a second so I can pull up a guy.
So this is the opportunity. I'm going to bring up two scenarios, two different players. One you can hit waivers for. One you've probably sneakingly already have been rostering. And you've just been waiting for him to get inserted back into the lineup. Jordan Addison's suspension is lifted. I am willing to put Jordan Addison in place of Terry McLaurin this week. I have been waiting for Addison to get fired up. Now, I know that it is against Pittsburgh, but if Carson Wentz can be any little bit of what he was last week and sling it against Pittsburgh, just a smidge of that, we know that Jettis is going to be dictating primary coverage. They're going to bracket Jettis. So that leaves Addison to just go the fuck off. So Addison is one. Do you want me to wait on my other taco?
No, you can go with yours. So this way, when I shoot mine off, I know that I didn't kick your guy.
Las Vegas Raiders. Wide receiver. Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker was 8 for 9 last week, 149, had 3 total TDs. He also, this season, leads the Raiders receiving corps in targets. Okay. The volume is actually definitely supported there, and actually receiving yards as well. Outside of, he's second, I'm sorry, in targets and receiving yards. Of course, Brock Bowers is there first. I'm really liking this pick. Now, is 3 touchdowns going to happen every single week for Tucker? No, but he is definitely playing up against a very porous Chicago Bears defense. The Bears look good because they played against Dallas last week. Okay. Now the Raiders kind of pretty much around that range, but I don't think that Chicago gets off the same way that they did against Dallas against the Bears. The Bears actually have a pretty decent defense. So tricky. That's who I would probably slide in. He was wide receiver 5 last week, I believe. Or he's coming into this week ranked wide receiver 5 in fantasy.
All right.
He is 73% or 70% rostered. I will say that.
So I got 3 for you guys. I'm going to do 2 under 40%, and I'm going to do 1 under 50%. My 1 under 50% is more of a homer pick, so this is why I'm not going too hard on it. But to me, it's Wan'Dale Robinson as a PPR stud magnet. We have the input of Jackson Dart. I do think that they're going to do their best to shut down Malik Neighbors. We know that Wan'Dale Robinson is a magnet for the ball. He's great in the slot. Jackson Dart, I feel like we'll be able to utilize him, and he'll probably have a solid day. I could see a 5 catches for 50, a 6 for 60 kind of day. You're looking at 10 to 12 points on a baseline level there without him any pay dirt. So I think there's a solid floor with Wan'Dale Robinson this week. My 2 under 35. I have 1 being Romeo Doubs with the Green Bay Packers facing the Cowboys. We've seen the Cowboys right now get lit up like a Christmas tree every single game so far. Even the Giants were able to throw 435 passing yards on him. This is a get-right game for Love after the game that they just blew to the Browns. Dobbs, I think Dobbs is a solid player overall. I think he hasn't really blown up, and to me, this is the perfect opportunity for him to actually get up and go off. So if you're down to CeeDee Lamb, if you're down to Terry McLaurin, I think that's a solid shot to take. Like Robbie said, the rookie wide receiver has yet to really pop off, which does give him a lane to really viability. And then the last guy that I want to touch on, pause. The last guy I want to bring up is a wide receiver who came back last week after being hurt for most of the year. He's on an offense that I feel like is going to be set up to pass. He's facing a pretty decent matchup, and that's Christian Kirk. I think at 35% rostered, if he's still available on your waiver wire and you are down player. He again is a PPR type guy. In his last game, he had 8 targets, 3 catches, 25 yards. That's 5 points. I can easily see him doing 6 for 50, 6 for 70. That puts him anywhere from 11 to 12 to 13 points, which again, if you're talking about replacements for a stud, you need a kind of solid floor. I think these guys offer an option for you that will be quite viable and being able to at least keep you from not getting fucked over. Now, I think Robbie's probably in the middle of something, so I think we can talk about another little interesting player, and I think that is the guy Calvin Austin. He's actually had 2 of 3 games where he scored over 12 points. In week 1 versus the Jets, he had 4 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. Week 2 versus Seattle, he wasn't as great. He had 1 catch for 22 yards on 4 targets. Okay, he saw 6 targets in the first game. And then in game 3 versus the New England Patriots, he had 3 catches for 34 yards on 5 targets, and he had a touchdown. I think when you're looking at a guy like Calvin Austin, he is not a top tier wide receiver. But as we're getting into bye weeks, as things are going to get a little bit more convoluted, as we start having more injuries, I think that his target share seems pretty solid. He's found the end zone in 2 of the last 3 weeks. We know that the running game could be a little hampered this week with Jalen Warren having some issues. And I think Calvin Austin sets himself up as a possibility to be a really viable player, at least this coming week. They're facing that Minnesota defense, which we know is pretty tough. And more than likely, they'll be gunning to take away DK Metcalf, which again plays into the idea that Calvin Austin could be a decent return for you in this matchup. He's definitely someone that I think has a decent upside, and I would be very interested in possibly adding to my roster. Another guy that we could bring up that has been trending down if we're talking about wide receivers. Kayshon Boutte. He started looking like he was going to be a guy that would take over, that would start to command more of a target share. But what we've seen over the last 3 weeks is that he's seen a halving of his production. He went from 16.3 points and 1 point PPR in week 1 when he had 6 catches on 8 targets for 103 yards. In week 2, he had 1 target for 16 yards and a touchdown. And in week 3, he had 3 targets with 2 catches for 28 yards. I think that this guy versus Carolina, it is a very tricky and sticky situation. His target share coming into those last 2 games was pretty substantial. And now he's had a big drop off in that. I am just not sold that he is not going to get the ball. So part of me wants to believe here that the game script could favor him, but it is a tricky and sticky matchup. So he's not someone that I'm really trusting. He's probably someone that a lot of people have dropped, but I would keep an eye on him because based on the numbers and his production, I think this could be a game that he gets right.
All right, let's see here. If you're asking about rest of season, hang on. If you're asking about rest of season, I wouldn't be looking at either of these options for a rest of season, to be honest. Keeping it real. Those are going to be guys I'm probably going to drop, pick up throughout the season. Especially given waivers and such, there's going to be guys that are also going to pop off that you're going to be more tempted to grab. I really can't. Sometimes I don't like rest of season questions just because it's like, you're not going to have a crystal ball, like, that. So it's not, and then I think there was another one. This one I said Mason over Scat. I said Mason over Scat
for this week because this week I think I might take Cam because you got Pittsburgh versus Minnesota in London or what overseas. I don't know if it's London, but it's definitely overseas,
Ireland.
and it is
Ireland.
and it's a decent matchup. I mean, this
Minnesota
week
loves playing overseas
versus the Chargers. I just think that Cam is going to have be involved. And if you look at, he's gotten 6 targets in the last game, 3 targets in the game before. Excuse me, he had 8 targets in the last game. I don't know, man. I just don't know.
I'm going with Mason just because that they're gonna feed him, and there's trust there. Minnesota again, they love international games. That Pittsburgh defense is not great right now. It's not great right now. Robbie and Taco, 2 bands on the line. Who's getting more yards and TDs between JJ or Jamar Chase? You want me to keep it real with you? It seems like JJ's situation right now, quarterback wise, is in a better predicament. Now, Cincinnati could go and be like, oh, New York, those are nice 2, veteran quarterbacks that you have there. You mind giving us one of them since now you're going to roll with Jackson Dart. And New York could very well be like, we need more pieces. We can use more draft picks. Yeah, we'll take your late round, your day 2s, your day 3s, whatever the fuck. So that could change. 2 bands on the line as of right now. I'm saying JJ. If Cincinnati figures out something at quarterback, because Jake Browning ain't it right now for the time being, with Joe Burrow being out until December 14th is what it's looking like. Jamar could easily get back on track. If Jake Browning starts playing like the Jake Browning of old when he replaced Burrow for 7 games, then that's also an easy conversation as well, too. For me, it's going to be JJ, though. Whether it's when McCarthy comes back or if they decide, we're still going to sit you for a little while or a little while longer until you're fully healthy, I like the situation a little bit more. If Diami's going to be out there, then sure, Diami's definitely someone you can slide in.
I think I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum on this one. I think I just trust the way that they use Chase more. Like they don't give a fuck, bro. Chase is gonna get like 1 million targets. Like, you know what I mean? Like right now on the season, all things considered, 21 receptions for Chase versus 12 for Jefferson, 200 yards for Jefferson versus 241 yards for Chase. 27 targets to 20 targets. So it's clear the targets are a lot closer, but the catch is you're kind of getting enough space. And I think that could be a part because of JJ McCarthy, who looked awful. So, and if he's like the guy that's coming back later, I'm kind of scared. At least we know when Joe Burrow comes back. If he comes back earlier, it's great. If not, those last couple of weeks, they could probably ball out and put up 150-yard games really quick. So I just love the upside of Chase season long. Like Robbie said, there is the outside chance that they could trade for a quarterback or that Jake Browning gets his shit together, because he didn't look terrible in the first game that he played. So it's been a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So I personally think I would take the Chase side just because they just have to use him so much more, and they're not a good team. Whereas the Vikings, they could be up and they could say, all right, we're going to run the ball and not have to worry about JJ. Whereas there will be no game that the Bengals will ever be up with that horrible defense.
But see, there's also the fact that there's an offensive line issue there that doesn't allow for time for Chase to get the ball. I saw a post where essentially, I can't remember who had posted it, but essentially it was the battle of wide receiver 1 is officially over as of last week. Both played with backup quarterbacks and one came out on top. JJ had more yards. JJ did more. They were targeted the same. They had the same amount of receptions. One just does a little bit more.
You're talking about 25 yards.
It's close, but one just does a couple of things different.
I just don't think that. I mean, Browning was so bad last week. Like, I don't think he was that bad at all last year. He wasn't that bad at the beginning. So I personally, deep down in my heart, believe that there's more chance that, again, he faced Minnesota last week. There's more chance that Browning turns it around, especially when you look at the way the schedule really lightens up after week 7.
Let's see here. Want to keep this rolling, keep this moving. We are going to talk about NFL Dublin. I do want to kind of get just overall before we get into like picks or anything. I do want to get into just like the fiasco behind it. Like Ireland loves fucking football. If there's any place internationally, which shout out to Brazil for also, signing a 5-year international deal with the NFL. If there's any culture internationally that could easily respect American football, it's the Irish with like rugby and everything. What are your thoughts? Let's get some props. Let's talk up this game. I know that it's an early game. I know it's an international game, so a lot of you guys from a fantasy standpoint may be afraid to start some players. We kind of already started talking about it a little bit. Taco, let's go.
All right. Let's see here. We're looking at props. All right, hold on. I'm pulling up my prop bets as we go, but I hate that we're starting
it would be
early games.
for me. It would be Mbuka and Puka, like not AJ Brown out of that one. This guy start 7. Hold up, while you're just looking up like props and stuff and everything, and getting things together to talk about NFL Dublin in your head. The beer's got to be amazing over there right now. They are getting buffed up right now. I got Drake May, Drake London, Tet, Kyron, Trayvon, Juwan, and Flex Matthew Golden. How we looking? I'm not high on Matthew Golden. It would be everyone but Matthew Golden. I don't like Matthew Golden. I don't like having Green Bay wide receivers right now. It seems like if your name's not Tucker Kraft, it doesn't matter. Hopefully this week they can get Josh Jacobs going. I know that they had to face a very tough Browns run defense. That Browns defense, believe it or not, is actually one of the top in the NFL. With that being said and stated, though, I'm hoping Josh Jacobs can get going. I'm thinking that this is the week, but in terms of the receivers there, man, it seems like Dobbs is the one that Jordan Love trusts the most. With Reed out, it seems like it's going to be a while before Golden's like fully worked in and fully baked in and fully has that trust. If May is suiting up, you're putting May out there. There wasn't anything today that said that he's not gonna play. If he doesn't have a Q next to his name, he's fine. He didn't have a Q next to his name in my league, so May is a questionable pick, to be honest. I like May. I like the rushing abilities of May.
Yeah, I like May a lot. All right, let's see here. Steelers plus 2.5.
I have to go get my wife.
41.5 total points. Let's see here. We got anytime scores from Jordan Mason, -130. DK plus 165. Justin Jefferson plus 150. Jalen Warren plus 150. As of now, I think Jalen Warren is hurt. And we're not sure how much he's going to play. I think Kenny Gainwell has been getting the goal line carries. So if I'm going to be ballsy, I would say Gainwell touchdown. Aaron Rodgers has been throwing pretty decently. 244 yards, 203, 139. It's a good Minnesota defense, so I'm not touching that. Calvin Austin plus 25 receiving yards. I'll take that.
I love how you dive right into trying to go and make picks and props.
Well, when you left, I thought I would just pick up there and run with what I'm seeing in this game. Because, like I said, I don't know if Jalen Warren's going to be playing in this particular game, which leads me to think that Kenneth Gainwell has a solid chance at a touchdown, and we're looking at him at a plus 390. So with this setup here, you're talking about if you just take Kenneth Gainwell anytime score the 25-yard receiving from Calvin Austin, 5 wins 36. I could fuck with that. Nice little light one.
I love how you came in right into just picks and shit like that. Look, the NFL's been going on. Let me give you guys a nice monologue. Let me give you a nice monologue. All right. I feel like it's important. All right. If there are any viewers in Ireland that have chosen to tune in, and I think we have like 0.5% viewership in Ireland. Listen, dilly. All right. Cheers. Enjoy the game. All right. Vikings are supposed to be the home team, which I personally just feel like is so fitting, even though Vikings are more of a Norse thing. Anyways, all right. Furthermore, you also get the historic franchise of the Pittsburgh Steelers gracing your presence. Terrible towels in Ireland. That's going to be fucking sick. Look, we know from when we had a college game over there recently. Pat McAfee show has been there. We know that Ireland gets down with football. All right. With that being said, with that being stated, I do have to make some picks. All right. Before I do, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What to do? This is for Ireland football right here. I'm excited for this game, even though it's going to be at fucking 9 a.m. This is one of those games that you throw on while you're getting ready in the morning, and just to have background noise. I'm sorry, it's technically going to be on at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so we're not even going to be on the pregame show during that time frame. 2.5 point spread. Vikings favored. Aaron Rodgers has a history of not faring well in international territories. Okay, now that was with the Jets, so we have to take that into consideration. The over-under is at 41.5. They are not giving out a lot of points in this one. Okay. I'm going to take the Vikings on the 2.5 because you're not getting anything just by picking them straight up to win. You're not getting as much juice. All right. So I am going to take Minnesota 2.5. I do think that DK scores. Doesn't DK have like a touchdown in every game? Basically, like he has like one touchdown per game at this point, damn near.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Like, so I do like the DK anytime touchdown. Taking a look at rushing props.
So he scored in the last 2 games, did not score in week 1.
Okay, last 2, not 1. That's right. Okay, I knew it was something like that. So, okay, so he scored in the last 2 games, a touchdown in the last 2. I do like Jalen Warren for 50 rushing yards. Okay. I know that you brought up Kenny Gainwell in good. I just can't bring myself to betting on Kenny Gainwell. If you want to swap out my, Jalen Warren pick for Kenny Gainwell, hey, you're not going to hear a damn thing out of my mouth. All right. I'm not trusting the receiving props. I would probably just leave it at those props. They're projecting Jordan Mason to go the fuck off. plus 113 for him to have a 90-yard day. Are they just expecting because it's early in the morning and no one's awake that like they're just gonna like feed the fucking running back? Like, bro, someone has to get the offense going, and it's gonna be you.
Bro, I think they're really thinking that the Steelers are that bad.
The Steelers defense has not been what we call impressive by any means.
But I don't think it's gonna last. I don't know. I just can't believe the Steelers defense is gonna be that bad all year.
I wanted to come up with the very like thick, nasty. That's what she said though. I don't think it's gonna last. But 2 minutes later. Problems I don't have in my life. Never trust Irish vampires. I'm digging the Sinners reference there. Let's see here. Coming back to Frizzle's question here. His other flex options are Woody Marks, Blake Corum, Luther Burden, Ollie Gordon. It's bad. It's not bad. It's just that those are flex options that we're more so in a situation where we need to see develop and to kind of see what the situation is going to, fill out for. Like Woody Marks, what is that going to look like if Joe Mixon comes back? Blake Corum more so just has that value due to the fact that if anything happens to Kyron Williams, well then fuck, what are you going to do there? Which automatically now sets you up where that already there's some trust where McVay will just give Corum all those carries. Ollie Gordon, it's very dependent. It's just too convoluted. I don't like Ollie Gordon as much as everyone else does.
Well, to me, what I do like about Ollie Gordon is that he looks like he's going to be the goal line back. So he does have that wild card touchdown upside, which, 40 yards and a tut, he's 10. But that to me is a harder path than, 6 catches for 60, which is something that, again, when you get a Matthew Golden, in the other primetime game, they missed the connection on 2 big plays. He is a rookie. He has been trending up. It's a matchup versus Dallas where they've been bad against the pass. You just have more upside there. It's all pretty, hit or miss, risky territory with the options that you have. I think long-term, Woody and Blake have options that you would want to watch. But I think that I would go Golden. And I would just pray. That's pretty much where you're at. Pull and pray. We all know that game.
I should have grabbed a Guinness for the Irish name. I'm dead.
And I would not trade Sutton for Olave. I would not do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No way in hell. Nope. There's not enough.
Olave is a lotto ticket because yes, his target share is elite, but the quarterback play is so bad and his concussion risk is so bad that he's a nice fill-in in a deal, but I wouldn't trade a guy in Sutton who I think is a top 15 wide receiver for a mystery box of Sutton. I mean of Olave.
Which tight end is it? Is it moved? Jonnu Darnell? Honestly, it's probably going to be moved. It just seems like that they have a connection, an automatic connection. To be fair, Keon Coleman, Calvin Austin, and Travis Hunter on waivers right now too. Travis Hunter doesn't do enough offensively to support his production and like fantasy, and doesn't even do enough defensively to support his production on that side in IDP.
I probably dropped Luther though for Keon Coleman. I would rather have Keon Coleman than Luther because I do think there's a chance
I would drop one of those other running backs because I don't need all of them. I wouldn't drop Luther.
See, to me, I like Woody, I like Blake, and I'm not trusting Achane. So I would keep the backs and I would just rotate the wide receiver because one of those backs is going to pop off.
If anything, I'm keeping Woody and Ollie Gordon. Blake Corum would probably be the unfortunate candidate to go. Luther, I think that we are dealing with something in Chicago where Caleb is forming obviously we know that him and Rome were going to have a connection because they brought Rome in for that purposes. Caleb, heavily advocated for, them going to get Rome. I think that there's also now establishing a connection with Luther Burden. I think Caleb is having more of an appeal with the guys in the locker room that are closer in his age group, that are in his peer group, whereas DJ Moore's been in the league for what, 6-7 years now, 6-7 seasons.
See, to me, in my opinion, when I look at this, he had 1 target week 1, 2 targets week 2, and then only 3 targets in week 3. Now, he did have the big long play, which really fucked me in the ass in a couple of leagues because I faced him.
Straight up Diddy party, huh?
What the fuck are you doing, Gator? But yeah, I don't trust it yet. And that was versus Dallas. This is part of the logic I have behind Golden kind of keeping it out there. But to me, if I compare Luther Burden to Keon Coleman, I never see Luther passing Rome. Whereas with Keon, I think you had brought it up in a prior show. It gives me access to that really high octane Bills offense. And he was a former top pick who does have a lot of upside here.
Look at you quoting me. Shit. Shit.
So this is where I'll disagree with Robbie. And I'm going to quote Robbie to make my point and say Keon Coleman over Luther.
You know what? I'll take that. You right. Oh shit!
Because that is a primetime offense.
I would say probably Coleman though, and like maybe one of the running backs, just because that also gives you some balance too when bye weeks come around. How about it's a single QB? I got May and Murray. Should I drop Murray for Keon? No. Don't do that. No. Please don't do that. You want to be able to have that flexibility of maybe swap which one, that one, this one, that one.
If Jackson Dart is still on that waiver wire, I'd make the move. Because then you have 2 guys on that wire that I wouldn't be down bad at, and I have Drake May as my starter in a 12-team 1 QB. I'm not mad at it, especially if you're debating starting him this week in that matchup versus New Orleans. But I still think I would start Matthew Golden versus Dallas because Dallas is just so bad on defense.
On the other side of the show, we are going to deep dive into the battle of 1 and 3. Right? Pause. We are going to go into the Ravens-Chiefs game. We are going to play a quick game of contender, pretender, undefeated edition. So we're going to go around the undefeated teams across the NFL. Kind of take a peek into what things look like for the rookie Jackson Dart heading into Sunday. And then best bets. Stick around for the second half of Rumboyz After Dark. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboys and girls. What to do, dilly dilly. We'll be back after a quick break.
No pressure. Hey, come take a trip with me, little babe. Take a trip with me. I said, take a trip with me. I said, take a trip with me. I said, take a trip with me, little babe. No pressure. Hey, take a trip with me, little babe. No liquor, we shopping when we land. ATL to MIA, come put your feet up in the sand. I almost gave up 1,000 times. I had to stick to the plan. Hey, fuck that, we finna figure this out. Why these niggas tryna box me out? Hey, rest in peace, the flipper. Yeah, you know I'm on the paper route. My third eye open for them niggas who tryna snake me out. I know these niggas watching, I'm driving home. I'm taking a different route. I'ma run that set so bad, I'ma make these niggas won't kill me now. Hey, they ain't picture me like this. VS on my neck and wrist. Hey, shout out to T Grizzly. You know we do this shit with no effort, bitch. Hey, you know it's no pressure word. I need me a no pressure, bitch. I beat a nigga ass like Rocky and Riri on my bucket list. Hey, I'ma go get that money. I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga. I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers. We back to back. We paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues. I'm riding around the city. I'm bumping sad, bitch. I'ma go get that money. I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga. I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers. We back to back. We paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues. I'm riding around the city. I'm bumping sad, bitch. I'ma go get that money. If I don't, it's still come to me. Lowe's in the living room, right now I don't want no company. Still with my day ones, how it started, like it's supposed to be. Trap nigga, pull up serving bowls, bumping Jodeci. I pull up that, Reebok got that. No, this ain't baby, but 4 pack is fat. Buy this no pressure shit, I'm dying, bitch, I'm slime by this shit. You want the recipe, get you a brick of shit, get rich. I got a rollie on my wrist, I'm chasing pay, can't chase no bitch. Top of the top, I'm up early, I'm working hard, I'm getting rich. A marathon for that paper, I'm bumping sad, I'm bumping nil. I'm pouring double cups of real, little bitch, but you know I'm a crip, no pressure. Ain't no pressure, big business, kill 'em all, leave no witness. Pockets filled with blue, rest in peace, dog, rest in penis. And lil' bae, she fuck with a kid, she say that she gon' try heal me. Pouring juice in double cups, when I get in my feelings, no pressure. Hey, I'ma go get that money, I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga, I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers, we back to back, we paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues, I'm riding around the city, I'm bumping sad, bitch. I'ma go get that money, I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga, I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers, we back to back, we paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues, I'm riding around the city, I'm bumping sad, bitch.
1 second, chat.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy El Capitan Robbie J of the Rumboyz Fantasy Sports Network here at the NFL Players Association 2019 Rookie Premiere with Nate Bosa, with my co-host Ty Boogie, all the Rumboys and girls out there tuning in. We are sitting down with the number 1 draft pick, the one and only Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, Hollywood, with Drew Lock, no other than Andy Isabella, Miles Boykin. We are sitting with Benny Snell Jr., Easton Stick, Bryce Love, UGA's own the big dog of the Bulldogs, Riley Ridley.
How you doing?
It's Friday. We all got jobs. We got an interview to do. National championship winner, NFL draftee, TJ Hawkinson, Iowa Hawkeyes. What is good, brother?
Hey, it's good to be here. Good to be here.
Hey, welcome. ACCR, right?
Oh, you already know.
Hail to the Redskins.
I gotta ask, you're gonna play the Browns? Like, are you gonna just burn them again? What you think you do? I mean,
I think the media put us against each other. I like them so.
you're friends.
we were in a hot tub time machine, bro.
Yeah, he's cool. He plays video games just like me. That's what he really do.
For me, be able to break the all-time rushing leader in 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the UK O-line, man. Y'all did that.
When you wake up in the morning, you don't want to have to feel like you're doing work.
Exactly.
You want to feel blessed and excited to do what you're doing day in and day out, and I can truly say that.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rum boys and girls. What it do, Dilly Dilly. That was live, man.
What's up? What up? What up? We are live. We are back on Rumboyz After Dark, the Friday night fantasy football and NFL betting podcast. Taco, guess how many subscribers we are away from 3K? You're on mute.
50.
No, but I wish we were that close. We are 137 away from 3K. So close. For those that do not know, we have officially entered Rumtober. Ladies and gentlemen, fall is officially here. The first day of fall was like what, Sunday? Yeah, it was this past Sunday. So we are in Rumtober. The Rumtober hoodies are out. Make sure that you guys go and get one. Mine is on the way. I'm so excited to rock that on air for you guys during the month of October. But then also, I mean, just like we're about to have all of the sports action kicking off. And damn it, it feels good. And if we can get that 137 during the month of October, I was going to wait to say what I was going to do, but I'll go ahead and I'll tell y'all. 24-hour stream, damn it. I am going to do a 24-hour stream. He said, Jesus. I will start it. I will start it Saturday at midnight, and I will go all the way through to Sunday the next day at midnight. So that means I'm gonna be up. We're gonna pregame the morning together. There may be some napping involved. It may be a little mafia-thon-ish. there may be some shit planned for that too, though. So 24-hour NFL stream if we hit 3K in the month of October. We have to hit 3K though in October. 3K subs in October. 24-hour stream to kick off November. Sounds ill. Sounds like that shit's gonna be crazy, dog. That shit's gonna be crazy. I'm about to have to book a lot of special guests to keep me up. Let's go ahead. Let's get back into the rest of the show. Did not write this on this show sheet because we did kind of talk about it a little bit on Tuesday, but we had Raphael in the chat earlier who had kind of brought this up. This is a game that everyone is super excited about. This is a game that even before the season kicked off, when schedules were announced, everyone was like, "Ooh, that's what we doing in week 4." Baltimore, KC. Heading into this matchup, nobody had either of these teams being 1-3. Who needs the win more? Do not give picks yet. Do not give any props yet. Do not predict any scores. Save that for the ass end of your take. Try not to even open let the cat out the bag too much. Who needs this win more and why?
I think it's pretty obvious the team that needs it more is the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason why is you have a team in the Chargers and a team in the Broncos that are out there ripping and running and have that potential to really push distance. And how many games are you going to be able to give up before that wild card starts getting a little dicey? You're putting yourself into really choppy waters. Now, the Ravens, I think, still have that outside shot to win the division no matter what, because Pittsburgh's defense doesn't look great. You have Joe Burrow being hurt. You know what I mean? So, and the Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns. So, there is always that shot for them to go back and win the division versus the Chiefs, who I don't think will have a shot to win the division if they go down further. So, I think it's the Chiefs who desperately need this game.
I feel opposite. I feel it's Baltimore that needs this. I'm sorry, Kansas City, but you've had your time. You've gotten to be at the pinnacle. Yes, you needed to keep a dynasty running. The other team needs this to get past you. No, it's not the AFC Championship game. But the odds of you even having a vision of getting into the AFC Championship game and falling fucking 1-4 to the team that you may have to get through in order to get to that game, in order to get to the Super Bowl. Yeah, no. Baltimore, you need this a whole hell of a lot more. After the bullshit fumble last week, Derrick Henry has fumbled 3 times all year last year. He already has 3 on the year. Baltimore has a lot to prove. Baltimore has lost some close games that they should not have lost. Baltimore needs this. Let's dive into the game. Let's dive into predictions. I'll set the stage and then let you go first. Kansas City is a plus 124 dog, with Baltimore being favorite on the line at 48. Vegas has this at 48.5 over-under over on DraftKings with the spread at 2.5 favoring the Baltimore Ravens. Our DraftKings link is in the description. Taco? Go ahead.
I mean, I think this is going to be a very interesting game. I'm just really torn. Like that 48.5 seems like a lot in a game where I feel like both defenses know they have to show up. You know what I mean? So I just don't know. Like it's tempting for me to bet the under here, but then I could see, both teams putting up 30. So it's like kind of scary to me. I think the Chiefs plus 2.5 seems like a nice play because you're getting damn near a field goal. Game here. Anything kind of close, you're winning. I think the Chiefs can win outright. So I think betting wise, I lean that way just because in a toss up game, if I like either team and I'm getting that, enough of a point spread, I could easily take the Chiefs straight up here and not feel terribly bad. Like on the Chiefs, 10 wins you 20, 10 wins you 22. So I can see the Chiefs straight up and just kind of see how it goes because I do think it's a toss-up game and the Ravens have been playing sloppy. As far as props are concerned, passing we see here 250 for Mahomes, 230 for Jackson. Passing TDs 2 a pop. I probably don't touch either one of those. Passing attempts 38. Don't touch that. So I don't know how many of the props I'm going to take because this game can go so many different ways that
this game can get fucked real crazy real quick. I mean, Xavier Worthy is back too.
Yeah, it's just I think I would just take the Chiefs straight up, no points, and just see how the cookie crumbles.
How do I want to begin my take? First, we already knew that you were going to take the Chiefs because you're a closeted Chiefs fan, and that's fine.
Oh, I'm not in the closet about that one.
Fuck. Taylor, Miss Taylor Swift. Please give Travis some this week before the game. Because he has not been doing shite for my fucking fantasy football team. All right. I'm witnessing Josh Allen ball out and he got Haley Steinfeld. He must really be sticking his tongue in her coos. That's a Sinners reference for anyone who did not get that or seen the movie. We got Justin Herbert balling out in Los Angeles because he's got Madison Bear. And Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift not doing shit. The baddie effect that clearly is not real for him. All right.
I mean, he has teardrops on his guitar.
Teardrops on his guitar. I like that Tay-Tay reference. I like the Tay-Tay reference. You need to shake it off. Shake it off. Okay?
And calm down.
Go out there and play like you're feeling 22. And go get me some damn fantasy points. The line is set at 40 receiving yards for Travis Kelce. He averages 44.7. If you can't get 5 yards over your freaking line and you're a superstar, less time on the private jetty, more time catching passes from Kermit the Froggy, please. With that being said, I will take Travis Kelce receiving. Okay? I am going to take Let me check on this. Let me check on this before I say too much. Don't think about it too much, too much, too much, too much. Let me take that 280 again, passing and rushing on Lamar. Okay, it hit last week. It's been hitting every week. He's averaging the 280 passing and rushing combo. Let me get the 280 passing and rushing. Let me take the law of averages there. It's just, I feel good when it comes to that one. With that then being said and stated, I am taking him off the parlay ban list. I am going to lower my expectations. I took him for 80 rushing yards last time. He put the ball on the ground. I don't think the Chiefs are going to contain Derrick Henry in that same manner. I'm going to take him for 70. It's minus 225. I still want to put something on Derrick Henry. I think he has something to prove. I'm going to take him off the list. Lisa's like, he's still on the list. He's still on. What are you doing? Lisa's like, what are you doing? I'm going to take him off the list. And for TD scores, I am going to take Kelsey to get a TD. He has to come up big in this game. He has to be box office in this game. But I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to win. Let's go. Let's go. Give me the Baltimore Ravens minus 2.5 to win.
I mean, again, I could see this game going either way. It's the points I think are enough that you could take it either way. Like if I was taking the Ravens, I would take them with the points because again, I gotta lose by a field goal for me to like really like in real terms, you don't see 1 point or 2 point games for the most part. It's either a field goal or a touchdown. So I think that 2.5 makes more sense than just taking them straight up, which is also the same logic why I took the Chiefs straight up as opposed to taking the points. Because again, how many games you really get that 2.5, you lose on 3. So I'd rather just take them straight up and get the extra points with the win. So I think it makes sense what you're doing there. And then Lamar, like I said, he's a money machine. If you find a trend, you ride the trend.
Hey, a 5 SGP right there, winning 85. And that's not it being juiced. So I mean, hey, something to think about out there in viewer land. Isaiah Likely is back. That's also why I stayed away from any of the Baltimore tight end props. But I do like Isaiah Likely for DFS. Do it for Samuel Jackson's long lost son. Actually, it's Mark Andrews who remains on the list forever. Yeah, Mark Andrews, who is always going to remain on the list. You want to get into contender or pretender?
Let's do it.
All righty, hold on. Let me get us set up for this. All right. I'm going to go through the list of undefeateds. I'm going to have you then respond contender or pretender. I'm going to take the most obvious one out first. Buffalo Bills.
Contender
for damn sure. I 100% expected Buffalo to be right here at this point. Has it necessarily was week one necessarily pretty the way that they got it done? No, but I mean from there they've kind of just steamrolled and just continue to look like the Buffalo Bills. Even in week one, look like the Buffalo Bills. They just look like the Buffalo Bills that had to keep up with the Baltimore Ravens. Is this Buffalo's year? Do you think this could be Buffalo's year?
I definitely think it could be Buffalo's year, but I also think that there are a couple of teams that they'll have to deal with come playoff time. And playoff time is a different animal.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into playoff conversations until we see how they're peaking at the end, you know?
I'll say this. They're Buffalo in September is playing November football right now.
Yeah.
Buffalo playing November football right now.
They're a top 3 team in the league right now.
I'm not gonna say they're playing playoff football. They're playing November football right now.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is coming back.
Yeah.
By the way.
That thing Purdy.
San Fran did exactly what they needed to do to make themselves into this week's game of contender or pretender by placing a backup and then still maintaining the undefeated record, still maintaining above 500. With that being said and stated, contender or pretender?
I'm going to take pretender on this one. When we look at the points for the 49ers, they have 59 points for. That's 7 points more than the Giants scored through 3 games. Now, I know Purdy's missed some time, and we know that Ayuk isn't close. Jennings has been in and out of the lineup. You're depending a lot on Ricky. Kittle is out. You just lost Bosa. This team is winning without some of their key players, but the question is, how long can you keep that up? And what happens once you start facing some teams that could really punch back? So I'm just not buying that right now. I am saying pretender on the 49ers. Bosa's injury is a big one.
This game is fucking nuts. This is insane. This game is on. This game is like what happens when this game's on crack. When you do too much fucking creatine in the morning after you've been like studying all night doing Adderall in college, that's what this game is. And you're just in the gym like, your coach is like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's what this game is. This game, I don't know if you have an extra link in your YouTube browser, type in Florida State, Virginia live. It's on YouTube. Someone is doing a stream of it. This game is, I've never seen nothing like it. This shit is Jose Canseco on steroids. Like
Florida State versus Virginia.
Yeah. I mean, you would have had to see it during like the whole thing, like the way it transpired, like the way this game played out. But my gosh, like Florida State did not look great against an unranked Virginia team. And I hate the Cavaliers. I have nothing nice to say about the Virginia Cavaliers. I'm a Hokie. I'm a Virginia Tech guy, like this is crazy. If Virginia scores right here,
they win.
Bro, I think Virginia's just gonna try and take them in another OT and try and fucking tire them out. They're just gonna try and keep taking it OT. Let me get back on to my 49ers take. With San Fran, I think that it really comes down to a lot of coaching, right? The coaching is so damn stellar. From Shanahan, then Salah, like they are able to. Football's a game about is a battle of attrition, and they are able to survive the battle of attrition. Okay, even with a high turnover rate due to injury and such, flag, that's PI. Defenseless receiver, that's got to be. You're insane, ref. You're insane, ref. In college, that's not PI. That's crazy. I am going to say I'm going to say contender for now. No, I'm going to flip that. I'm going to say pretender on San Fran just because despite all the great things that I just said, they're going to lose to Jacksonville this week. I was going to save that take for best bets, but it would have not made sense if I would have said contender for San Fran and then picked them to lose to Jacksonville. I'm going to say pretender. One loss isn't the end of the fucking world, but for the sake of them being undefeated right now, continuing the undefeated streak, we got to keep it what it is.
And also, I feel like what you said about the coaching is why they're winning, which is almost like a smoke and mirror. It's like, bro, I am so elite at these X's and O's that we're going to scheme our way to victory. We don't have more talent. We're just fucking sophisticated.
It's a mirage.
Like
yeah, that's sophisticated. How did they not throw a flag on that? That's the defensive receiver. Holy shit. 39-yard attempt right here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Ooh. I think that we're talking about right there one of the best teams in football, and we knew that coming into the league. I think that's a team that's already punched their ticket to the playoffs because the Falcons look like shit, and no one trusts the Panthers. And the Saints are tanking. Don't tell me the Saints aren't tanking because they should have taken Sanders if they weren't tanking. So they're tanking. Okay. So I think the Bucks have the easy path to the playoffs. Once we get to the playoffs, it's a whole different vibe. We got to simulate how they're playing and everything like that. This team's a legit contender, and they're legit already punched their ticket to the division.
Baker's playing MVP level football and needs to be placed in the conversation. I get that it's September, and I get that it's early. I get that the new hotness right now is, I won't necessarily say new, but like I mean it's new the way that he's playing. But is Justin Herbert, that's the NFL darling right now, with the way that the Chargers are balling out. Baker Mayfield needs to be in that MVP discussion. If you're going to be talking about what Herbert's doing right now, you need to be talking about what Baker Mayfield is doing right now. I agree with you. We're probably talking about one of the best damn teams in the National Football League right there.
Yep.
Philadelphia Eagles. This is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one. This is the Super Bowl champs. Did not look like the Super Bowl champs last week against the Rams. I get that they got the dub. The Rams, as far as penalties, kind of lent that to them.
Or, I'm not finished.
No, go ahead.
Or they went there and they snatched that damn baby from their hands and they was playing shook. So they had nothing to do but hold and make penalties because they was out there scared. Because when all of a sudden you put that first punch in and you thought the Eagles were going to go down, and they said, oh, wait, we can throw the ball. And then all of a sudden, A.J. Brown said, get down, little boy. Who you think this is? This big dog A.J. I read books on the sideline to keep myself in check. I ain't go crazy no more. I read the book. He said, I'm still here, motherfuckers. I'm outside. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, everybody wants to talk all this shit about the Eagles, but the Eagles came out and said, we can win running, we can win throwing, we can win with defense, we can win with special teams. This is the best team in football right now. This is the team that strikes fear into everyone because they can win in every single phase. They can win in short yardage. They can win going deep. They can win playing defense. This team is scary. And Saquon didn't even go off, bro. This team is scary. You have Smith. You have Brown. You have Saquon. You have Hurts. You got Goddard. You got an elite defense. Nah, bro. This shit is crap. They are definitely contenders. They're probably the best team in football right now.
I say contenders because until you knock off the Super Bowl champs, then obviously, yes, contenders. I will say this. They were definitely exposed last week. They were definitely clearly exposed last week. No, this team isn't going to just steamroll and remain undefeated. Jalen Hurts is not going to be able to just pass for fucking 100 yards per game forever, and just try and get by that. I think that teams are starting to figure out the holes in this offense. Every offense has weaknesses. You just have to figure it out. Let's face it, there was a holy shit. Virginia touchdown. Morris with the rushing. That's crazy. They did get away with, lining up offsides on the tush push. Evidence came out to prove that. Should have been called. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to the NFL, kind of starting to keep that a little bit more in check. And kind of hone in a little bit more on that against Philly, because Philly does have a tendency to get away with that. And it has been proven. And it's not the first time that it's been brought up post game where there's evidence of like, hey, fucker, they are full on offsides. So there's that. For now, contenders, It's coming. A brutal awakening is coming. The Los Angeles Chargers, contenders or pretenders? This is a team that usually falls apart.
Well, last season they went to the playoffs. And this season, I think what they're doing is they're making themselves look better. And they're marching themselves to a chance to win the division and force the Broncos and the Chiefs to have to compete for a wild card. I think that when you have the running game that they could possibly have, which they started to show the inklings of, and you have Justin Herbert playing at an elite level like he did a couple of years ago, I think you're looking at not only a contender, but you're looking at a team that could vie with the big three teams that we have in the AFC. I think that they're pushing themselves up into that conversation. They are legit on defense. They have a running game, and Justin Herbert can make throws and he can make runs. So I think that we're looking at a team that is a legit contender. I think at this current point in time, they win the division, and we're looking at a team that, you know, when it's all said and done, is going to make the big three into a fantastic four.
Yeah, Aiden, this game's fucking insane. This shit's crazy. I'm gonna say contender. I need to see what happens when they get in the playoffs. I think this team is probably the favorite to win the division. They are definitely the favorite to win the division. Mathematically, it's already swayed into their favor. So we kind of know how things work like this, you know, after a certain point. They just got to maintain momentum. Also, you know, kind of figure out the balancing act of maintaining health because they already are down, you know, Najee, Khalil Mack. So they now have to kind of start, you know, as they approach their bye week, start trying to, if you're going to go deep in the playoffs, you need to be the healthiest fucking version of yourself possible. So I want to see that this team and many other teams are getting their injuries out of the way early. And we kind of know how this works. You know, Taco, look at the years that your Giants went on your runs. You know, it was tough in the beginning. You know, guys went down. Then what happened?
Yep.
Players come back and then, oh, okay, we're healthy, and we can go on the run and we can compete. You know,
And
to our
I think that's why we both preface our stuff like the regular season, October, November is different than January. We have to evaluate once we've seen the totality as things stand based on these trends, based on what we're seeing. You know, we feel pretty confident in our assessments. And I don't think, you know, the sport betting lines pretty much mirror and echo, you know, what we're seeing. But, you know, right now is when you start looking at the teams that sneaky upsets in the playoffs, you know, teams that you like for a couple of nice little runs. And I think that's where we're gravitating to go. And I think Robbie's right. Make sure you temper your expectations. You know, the team that's hot today is not going to be the team that's hot that final weeks of the season. As we saw in baseball with the Detroit Tigers, they had a 15-game lead. They blew that shit. It happens in football too. You know what I mean?
It does.
Right now, the Chiefs can be down bad, but once the playoffs start and you got Rice, you got Worthy, maybe they figure out the running game and figure out what goes on. That's a different team because we know Mahomes is a big play guy. Or we know that the Ravens, all of a sudden, everything's clicking and humming, and that offense is putting up 50 points a game. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, fuck, the Ravens' time is now. So right now, it's a war of attrition. You need to just last. And that final month of the season, like Robbie said, like those Giants teams did, they faced the Patriots. They almost won the game, gave them the gumption to go on one of the most miraculous runs. And I think we've seen a bunch of wild card teams as of late really come out here and deliver.
Absolutely. And finally, the Indianapolis Colts.
All right. This one's a little tough. I think they are I don't know what's in between contender and pretender. They're like an enigma wrapped in a mystery. You know what I mean?
It's like I don't want to touch it, but it's like I want to touch it. Like I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, it's like the more and more I watch, the more and more I talk about it. I really believe in that Colts coaching staff. I think that's one of the best coaching staffs that we have in the game right now. And I think that we have reached a point where, Daniel Jones is starting to set himself up to be a consistent guy. Taylor is looking like how Saquon did that year the Giants made the playoffs. And this is just feeling like that time the Giants made the playoffs, but with the Colts. Yeah, I mean, great running game. Daniel Jones doing enough to get you to win. Solid defense. And that's kind of where I see this going. So are they like a legit contender? No, but do they win the division? I can't see any team winning that division over them. I do not trust the Jaguars. I think that if you're talking about pretenders, that's our pretender. That 2-1 record seems better than they are. I know that the running game has been pretty solid, but I don't trust that passing game. I don't know how that's going to handle when you face a good team. I'm excited to actually see the Jags and the Colts face off against each other. That'll be a good barometer for the division. But yeah, no, I think they're like again an enigma wrapped in a mystery. I think you might be looking at a division winner, but I don't think they're going much further than that.
Yeah, I know that was crazy ball security on that fucking catch. That shit was wild.
Love college OT. That is the best part about college football.
College football, exactly, is college OT. What I'll say here about the Colts, they have to face these Sean McVay Rams this week. That's going to be a test. That's going to be one hell of a test. I'm going to say pretender for now. I'm saying pretender. Beat the Rams. I'm saying contender. I'm saying pretender. It's the just I'm impressed.
Ooh.
I'm impressed. But I don't know. I don't know. I need to see more. Bro, yeah, that shit was a fucking dot. That was an absolute laser. Taco, how hyped is New York? And what's the realistic expectations as we enter the Jackson Dart era? We talked about this Tuesday, so we'll make this a little quick. But it's Friday, so how are we feeling?
I think New York is a little conflicted in the reasoning for going to Dart at this point. I think that, the thing was he wasn't ready. Now all of a sudden he's ready as the guy looks like he's on the way out from his job.
Returned.
So, I think that makes it really a sticky situation. But at the same point in time, I do think that there's a lot of hope for Jackson Dart because he showed a lot of flashes. He has a decent arm. He has the ability to run. He was pretty efficient in preseason. But this is regular season, and he's facing the Chargers, who have been nothing short of exemplary. And as we said, they're possibly one of the big four or the fantastic four that we have in the AFC right now. And I don't know, man. I'm worried, but I do think Cam is starting to play himself into a nice size role. And
I told you that was going to happen.
No, yeah, you definitely did. You definitely did. I still think Tracy.
And what everyone was like, "What Tracy and Tyrone Tracy?"
Well, remember, Cam really didn't get his big game until Tracy was hurt, and once Tracy came back, did he catch that?
Dog. They overturned that call.
The one where he juggled the ball.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was like, there's no way that's a catch. I was like, that shit's not full possession.
Bro,
there's no way that we're calling that full fucking possession, dog.
That shit was crazy. But yeah, I just
like this man is juggling. He juggling a football. He got some titties.
Yeah.
Like
he's juggling the ball like how Brian Dable juggles his quarterbacks. Like, can I get one to be good?
Good,
and
exactly.
All of a sudden, we watching Danny Dimes just go off. And damn,
like
that guy got hurt. Holy shit. Yo.
Look,
way
yeah,
they flooded
circus
the
ass
stadium was
catch.
lit,
Like,
though. That shit was crazy. The way the fan, it used to be like that back in the day for the pros. I remember it was the Yankee game one time. Well, I think one World Series, some shit. That was crazy. And no, I'm really excited for Jackson Dart from the standpoint of I think fantasy viable. He could be interesting because of his rushing upside. I think you're gonna have to run him. I think they had designed runs for him earlier, so I do think 25 to 50. Dude, that's what I'm saying. He looked like he got run over, bro.
They fucking ran this thing over,
Bro, that
Holy
shit was
shit.
ridiculous. That was ridiculous,
Yo, they
bro.
fucking Vegas ran from flicked off Nick Gustav Castellanos. Holy shit.
I would be scared as shit, bro.
Yo, they just stormed the field. That is the most Virginia shit ever.
How drunk is everyone to do that?
It's Virginia. They're off of a lot of moonshine.
Yo, look,
and then the part of Virginia that they're in, we're lucky that they have teeth, some of them.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Look how many people are on the field.
They stormed that shit. That is, holy shit. They just rolled the 4-1. They're going to get ranked. They just beat a fucking ranked team. Oh, tomorrow's going to be insane. Oh, I am so excited for college football overall. That
I
really
tell you,
happened.
man, I would hate to be in that crowd right there. That would be like the identity of claustrophobia.
Oh, you'll catch an STD just by breathing in that motherfucker.
Bro, I don't want to be so close to so many people.
They are just by breathing.
Everyone's
the air,
hot and sweating. Like, oh God. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be there.
That crowd smells like halitosis.
Yeah, I'd be good watching this one at the bar. Yeah.
They are nut to butt right now.
Bro, for real. Like, you move forward, you move back, you're in and out.
I got you. Gotta love college sports. Oh, I would so be on the field. I'd be on the field drunk as shit with a blunt lit, passing it around. Yo, you hit it. You hit it. We're celebrating tonight. The quarterback knows he about to go off. He about to have one crazy night. Let's get into best bets. Let's get into best bets. We get 3. We get 3.
All right, if I'm going to be honest, I like the Chargers -6. Fuck, bro. I like the Commanders straight up. Let's see what else. I want to look at Chicago real quick.
You do that because I have to go to the. I have 2 college games that I have to pick.
And I want to say Rome, but let me just take a look at something first.
The lines for college tomorrow. Oh, I'm so excited to wake up tomorrow. Yeah. Fuck NC State. Fuck
so his over under 63.5. He's done that once this year. He scored a touchdown in all 3 games. I kind of lean the yards because
it's
it's
Alabama
hard to predict
tomorrow.
touchdowns and hard to score 4 weeks in a row. But he had 6 catches week 1, 7 catches week 2, 3 All right, I'm going Rome over 5.5 catches. So I got Chargers minus
I like
6.
that.
I got Rome over 5.5 catches, and I have the Commanders winning straight up
Outright.
versus the pathetic,
The
Falcons.
Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons.
It's so pathetic. I couldn't remember their goddamn name. They blew it for me in Survivor. I fucking hate you.
Dude, I cannot believe that they got blown out by Carolina. I think that they will score points. I think that they will score points. I think that they have to score points, right? Like that's not going to happen again. Like we're down QB1 and wide receiver 1. Like,
yeah.
Hold up. I'm trying to find this freaking Oregon game because I already have my pick for LSU. Ole Miss.
I got a
so
crazy 5-1.
Let me first go ahead and get into LSU Ole Miss. Okay. Let me first get into LSU Ole Miss. It is absolutely diabolical to announce your public relationship on Instagram while simultaneously piping the opposing coach's fucking daughter.
What?
My dog, Whit Weeks, is gonna hang. Lane Kiffin, the head coach of Ole Miss, his daughter's dating Whit Weeks. They went public this week on Insta. They are playing. LSU is playing Ole Miss. Ole Miss is hosting. It's because of shit like this. Babe, I love you. It's because of shit like this. I'm afraid to have like for our second child to be a daughter. Because damn, you be using some psychological fucking positives. That's bro. Because you listen. I hope that they are truly in love. But I'm gonna be honest. I would do the same exact fucking thing. To throw the opposition off. You're banging the opposing coach. You're banging Lane Kiffin at that.
I think the announcement time is what I have more problems with. Because
bro, either she's like "fuck you, dad," or either he's like "fuck you, Lane."
That like nothing would bother me other than the timing.
Bro, there's no way that she ain't know. There's no way that she's like, "Oh, dad, I forgot."
If he gave his blessing before this and knew, then obviously it's a media stunt and they're just working it right.
Give your blessing and be like, don't announce it on game week.
But again, for her to get some clout, okay, you know what I mean? Like, but you got to tell dad before that shit happens. Like, I better fucking know.
This is your mortal enemy.
Yeah,
this is your mortal enemy, LSU.
Like, that is kind of.
This is not a NFL rivalry. Listen, Cowboys Washington it runs deep. There is nothing that runs deeper than college rivalry.
He apparently knows because he said Whit is an awesome kid and comes from a great family. So obviously
I don't care.
Obviously he knew.
Damn,
exactly. 6'2". Jesus.
Like LSU defense is great. Just that Nuss is disappointing. Nussmeier has to fucking nut up, like especially against Ole Miss. Bro, the line for that game. Like I feel like that this game, in all honesty, should be a night game. It comes on 1:30 Mountain Time. It's at 1.5. LSU they're dogs in this one. Give me the over-unders at 57.5. Give me LSU on the road.
Oh, come on. She did this shit for clout. She's a volleyball player for the Trojans.
Yeah.
So he's 6'2". How big is she?
I mean, she's a volleyball player, so you know they about to make some freaking tall ass kids, some D1 athletes. You see that Drewski skit where he was like, so what do you bring to the table? She was like, jeans. She's like, we can have D1 athletes. She was like 6'7".
5'11".
6'7".
She's 5'11". He's like 6'2". Jesus Christ.
Some tall, fucking D1 athletes, bro.
They
That's what
about
I'm
to do
saying.
some athletes.
My second pick for the college football slate, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you guys all 3 college football games because like there's no way I'm not fucking getting out of this show without picking Alabama, Georgia, and then Oregon, Penn State. Alabama, Georgia, Red River rivalry, like basically it's not the Red River rivalry, per se, but tensions run deep in this one. It's a battle of the South. Like you were talking about the king of the crop of the SEC with these 2 programs. I can't yell Roll Tide. Give me Georgia. Give me them dogs, baby. Give me them dogs. Give me them dogs. Yep, go Tigers and give me them dogs, bro. Like, yes, get Zachariah Brown involved. Traded Kyron and JMO for JJ, and now I got JJ and Jamar Chase. All right, you better hope that JJ McCarthy comes back and can ball out because both of them are tied to backups, and backup quarterbacks are not great long-term solutions for wide receiver ones. But hey, that person that we'll see how that plays out. It sounds great on paper. When them points start totaling up, JJ and Jamar are not doing real great wide receiver 1 numbers for first-round draft picks. Oregon, Penn State. I feel like here's what makes this game interesting is the psychological warfare that is taking place leading up to this game. I feel like Oregon trying to do the whole Penn State whiteout thing when Penn State is known for the whiteout with the during night games is a wild tactic that I don't think that is going to play well in your favor. It is a long travel. Give me Penn State at home to defend the house. I don't even think that Oregon's going to. Oregon might cover. Oregon could cover 3.5. No, give me Penn State. Give me Penn State. Dante Moore is better than CJ Stroud. Damn. Dylan Thyman is the best safety. Like I said, that's how I'm rocking with my college picks for tomorrow. That's my 3. I'll give you guys NFL on Sunday. Zach, I will have to check the Discord for your picks that you sent from the game. I did not see those. I did not even, honestly, I didn't even log into Discord today. And I apologize. Other than that, Taco, any final thoughts, any final words?
Nah, bro. I think shit got crazy. And yeah, I'm excited for some football. Great way to end that other game.
Yeah, bro, that shit is nasty, bro. Mans was at the Cardinals game. I know that you were happy about that win, Zach. I know that you were happy as hell about that game, bro. Man, y'all did the damn thing in the fourth quarter. My final thoughts. Team USA, figure out a way to come back in the Ryder Cup. Otherwise, then we're just going to continue to be the laughing stock of the world for other things outside of sports. So can we just please at least be good at sports? I greatly appreciate it. This is the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. This is a non-state media sponsored show. We say whatever we want, do whatever we want. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly.
Let's go dark.
May your parlays hit and your lineups be great.